Have big dreams of global travel, but feel you can't do it with the kiddos? Our next guests say, think again.
Here with tips on how to conquer your bucket list with the wee ones, our mommy and daughter travel gurus, Tyra and Isabella with Mommy and We Travels. So welcome to the show. So great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, well, let's talk about traveling with the kids because I think so many families are kind of afraid to do it.
Yeah.
They're afraid they're going to spend all this money and the kids are going to hate it. So, what advice do you have?
Well, first, don't be afraid to do it. Actually do it. Depending on how little the kids are, a lot of times it's way cheaper to travel with the kids while they're little versus as they get older.
That's a good point.
And some parents think that the kids will not remember it. Maybe 2, 3, they won't remember it, but I can guarantee you 4 years and up, they will remember it. Take pictures. They will remember it. It'll change their mind, change their palate. It will change their lives. I can promise you that.
What's it been like for you traveling with your mom and seeing the world? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, we travel like once a month. In the summer we're usually gone for 2 months. And I love that I do virtual school because I don't really have to show up. I just have to do my.
Right. Yeah, so she can learn from anywhere, right?
This is true.
Yeah, very cool.
And you learn all different things too while you're traveling. That's amazing. Well, let's talk about some of the places because I was looking at your list.
What
they
a
are
list.
you're pretty aggressive, right? As far as places to go. I'm
going
thinking
far away.
I'm thinking like Disney World or like something like that with the kids. But you have big dreams.
Yes, absolutely. So we want to start with Asia.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna walk through some places where families can go because what I love about what you do is you're traveling with them. You're curating the itinerary, right? So you're taking the hard work out of it for the families.
Yeah.
So you have a few places that we're going. Up first, we're headed to Bali.
Oh my gosh. So let's start off first. I love Asia.
Yeah.
So Bali is so amazing. There's so many different things that you can do. The people are the most kindest people that I've ever seen in my life. If you love food, listen, while you're in Bali or if you're going to Bali, just Google Michelin star. They don't have like an official Michelin like we do, but just Google Michelin star restaurants and you'll see people have comments like this should be a Michelin star, restaurant. There's so many different things to do. You got your zoos, and their zoos are not like our zoos. You can like pet the animals. You can pet the animals. She's petted meerkats, fed tigers, and of course the monkeys. And there's so many different Instagrammable things.
Moments.
Yes, to do on Bali. Absolutely.
And I've heard like once you get there, things are pretty economical, right?
Yes. Bali is very, I would say, it's really depending on if you're trying to go the luxe route or you're trying to go to, the economical route, but Bali can be done on both sides.
Okay, I love that.
Wow. Okay, next we're going to Japan.
Which I adore.
I love Japan. She loves Japan. Listen, we all love Japan.
Yeah.
Japan, we were just talking, it's like one of the most cleanest places we've ever been. The people are also nice in Japan. My biggest thing for Japan, my biggest bit of advice, don't be afraid to take the train.
Yes.
Our first time
the train
in Japan,
is your friend.
we were so afraid to take the train and we spent so much money on Uber, like $70
really?
to go like 30 minutes. It was ridiculous, but there's a lot of things to do in Japan. You have the Hello Kitty train that goes from Hakata to Shinosaka, but if you're taking the train, you can go so far, so far. When we're there, we did Hiroshima, Osaka, Kyoto.
Okay.
There's so many different cultural things that you can get into while you're there in Japan. And don't forget Disney.
Right?
That's
Disneyland.
right.
Don't
That's
forget
right.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
So when you go there with families, how long are you staying in Japan?
So normally we stay about 6, and it's depending on the budget for the group, but 6 nights or more we're staying there.
Okay, awesome.
And so Isabella has been to Japan, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
Going on a Hello Kitty.
Oh, Hello Kitty train. That sounds really fun.
I love Hello Kitty. So cute. Okay, up next we are headed to Europe. Where are we going to Europe?
So Europe, let's talk about Paris. So you guys know Paris was our very first international trip, and that really changed how we saw the world. So Paris, we love Paris. We love Europe, but we absolutely love Paris. So many things to do in Paris.
Yeah.
I say eat the croissants. If you like
you're
croissants, taste the croissants in Paris. It will change your mind about everything. And especially if you have picky eaters and if you love history, the museums. Go to the museums, see the museums.
So much art.
Yes, and don't rush. Don't rush through the museums. I was telling someone that for the Louvre, if you wanted to see everything in the Louvre, let's say you looked at it for 30 seconds, it will take you well over 3 months to see everything in the Louvre.
There's so much to see.
Yes, take your time while you're there in Paris.
I see you went to Versailles as well.
Yes, we went to Palace of Versailles. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah, we did that trip with the kids, and it was amazing. It was magical. So really suggest that. Okay, so next we're going to Australia.
Australia. We just got back from Australia in November. Absolutely amazing. From the kangaroos, and you guys, some people think that the kangaroos are hopping around everywhere. They're not hopping around. They're not. They're contained. From the kangaroos to the koalas. Like Isabella had a chance to pet a koala and actually, you know, see it, you know, in its habitat. You know, and some of the sanctuaries are like Bali, where you get to actually, you know, be live
up
and
close and personal. Yeah.
Yes. And so whether you're visiting Sydney, you know, the Opera House, Hobart, Eden. We love Australia.
I have a question for you because that's a long flight, right?
Yes.
So any tips for families, you know, on the plane with the kids, how to keep them occupied?
Yes. So my biggest tip for any parent that's traveling internationally, take a red-eye flight.
Okay.
Red-eye meaning it's leaving your destination or leaving the U.S. later in the evening, around bedtime, because guess what? The kids are going to be asleep.
Sleep half the way.
And then my second tip for if you're traveling far, if you cannot find a direct flight, take a stopover. I used to be so afraid to take a long layover. Now I'm looking for those long layovers.
Get a break.
Not only a break, but if the layover is like 12 hours or longer, you can actually leave the airport. You have to be back to the airport 3 hours before your flight, but you can actually go maybe see another city. And that's what we did. We did Fiji for a few days because it was the same cost to take a break in Fiji versus taking a stop like a hour layover and then heading over to Australia.
That's brilliant. I like that. Hot tip there.
That's amazing. Okay, one last place you want to talk about, Egypt.
Egypt, oh my gosh, history.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like a safari. There's so many pyramids, so many different animals that you can see. Isabella had a chance to pet a crocodile, hold a crocodile.
Gosh. You held a crocodile? Were you nervous?
Looks like
she said not at all. She got a fearless young lady here.
Was that you on the camel?
Yes, and we got a chance to ride a camel.
Wow, are you kidding me? Look at this. The pyramids?
Yes, the pyramids.
I mean, wow. Talk about an Instagram moment.
Yes, and there's so many different museums and stuff that you can see there. Biggest tip for Egypt, do not underestimate the weather. So, you know, when we were in Egypt, it was hot. It was a little bit less hot than Dubai, but Dubai is like a dry heat. In Egypt, it was a little bit.
It was humid?
Yes.
Okay.
And it made it,
yes. Ah, okay, good to know. So these were fantastic bucket list items that you can accomplish, these bucket list items.
Absolutely.
Do it now, do it this year.
Absolutely.
You can help them out. Thanks for joining, ladies. You were fantastic. Appreciate you. So to learn more about the different services that they offer and to get help with planning your next vacay, you can head to the website listed on your screen, which is Mommy and We Travel.